You're not gonna make it. No, you ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna make it, but you can. Welcome to You're Not Gonna Make It, where I discuss threats to your physical and mental health, and find ways to deal with them too. I'm your host, Kevin. You want to lose 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds, but you don't have the time. You simply do not have the time to exercise and eat well, eat better, count your calories, track your food. Here's an idea. Have you tried chucking your phone across the room? Just kidding, don't do that. You're going to need it to track your calories later. But your phone has tricked you into thinking that you don't have time for things when you really do. And let's not kid ourselves. You spend a lot of time on your phone. Now, I'm not one of those people who thinks technology is bad and all screen time is bad. Like, listen, if you're spending an hour and a half, 3 hours a day, and it's going to be Google Maps, Google Waze, like navigation, that's not obviously not bad. You're trying to get somewhere, right? Or if you spend 2 hours on the phone, you're going to be like, oh my God, that's 5 hours today of me going somewhere and talking to someone. No, that's not bad. That's the point of the phone, actually. What is bad is you spending hours on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. What else is there? Pinterest. I don't know. Twitter, X, whatever it's called now. Threads, LinkedIn, Substack. I know some of you use it for business purposes, but let's be real. Most of you use it to scroll shit for a few hours because, whatever. And it is partly your fault, of course, but a big portion of the blame goes to the app developers. They have learned human psychology and have weaponized it to keep you checking and looking at your phone so that you can look at it for enough time that you might, click on one of those ads that they stuff in your fucking face. Here's a hot tip. If you use any social media, I recommend using it via the Brave browser, either desktop or mobile. It'll block ads and you won't see any of that shit anyway. Here's also a hot tip. Subscribe or you're dumb. I'm kidding. But yes, subscribe. I'm a much better subscription than Twitter Blue or whatever. What is it called? X Premium? Whatever. So these companies, they make a lot of money by keeping you glued to the screen. Because the more time you spend on these social media apps and websites, the more money that goes to the ad companies. I might have a misunderstanding of this, but I'm pretty sure the people who are putting ads out there, they do make some money. Not just when you click it. Obviously, when you click it, there's more of a chance of you buying the thing. But just you seeing it, getting in front of your eyes, it does help someone financially. So that's also not cool for you. And I was saying it is largely your fault, right? Let's be real. But some of the blame is on them because, again, they hire behavior scientists. They understand color theory. They know this red over here. This shade of red makes you feel a certain way. It makes you want to click this. This shade of green makes you feel this certain way. So that your brain barely has to do any thinking. It's just like, oh, color number. I'm scroll. Like it's becomes autopilot at some point, and they want it that way. They just want you being fucking slobs, so you can spend all your time there. But here's the thing: you're wasting that time when you could be spending it on exercise, tracking your food, anything that you say you don't have time for. All of you know that fucking guy who says, I don't have time for stuff. And if you check their phone, check their computer, check their screen time, whatever it is, you'll find a few hours at least on some social media platform. Which, hey, if you want to spend your time that way, cool beans. But if you say at the same time, I don't have time for X, you're full of shit. This is especially bad for tech workers because guess what? You already spend 6, 7, 8, more likely 9 or 10 hours in front of a screen already. So you might already want to use the excuse of being too tired to exercise or whatever it is, right? But most of you pull out the energy from within to scroll for 2, 3, maybe 4 more hours. Thereby spending, 10 to 12 hours on a screen per day. Not ideal. Although, I gotta say personally, using a Kindle, I don't count that as screen time. It's technically a screen, but it's a book. Whereas if you're reading on a phone, I don't know, that's like half screen time or something. But on a Kindle, you can't really do anything else besides read. And the screen is e-ink, it's nice. So I'm gonna say I'm not gonna count that. But in general, Americans spend about almost 7 hours per day on a screen. So if you work in tech, you work at a desk, whatever it is, it's probably closer to 10. And these people check their phones about 150 times per day on average, which is about, every 6 minutes when you're awake. Apparently, a lot of employees also waste about 2 hours per day on their phone during work. Now, that's kind of mixed, I'm going to say. Now, obviously, mindless scrolling isn't good, but let's not kid ourselves and say that, when you're at work, like literally 100% of the time there is spent in deep work. That's kind of impossible for the human brain anyway. I've seen stuff at work, people watching, sports at work. They have a big Discord window open. They're just doing whatever. And I don't give a shit. I don't care. If you're getting the other tasks done, who gives a fuck what you're doing with the other time? Who cares? Honestly. So the stat is kind of like, excessive mindless screen time isn't great. But to say, people are wasting time, at work doing other non-work stuff, then whatever. Now I'm going to put myself on blast here. I'm going to compare some of my stats to some of the ones I'm seeing here. Tech workers check their phones 150 times per day. According to mine, at least for last week, the week before, it's between, I would say an average of like 66. Apparently, I got thousands. I got like 7,000 notifications last week. I don't know how the hell that happens because I turned most of them off. I want to say a lot of it was from Outlook from work, but that would be fucking insane. Not impossible, but insane. Although for this, notifications, they're counting like if I download something, that's notification, calendar thing, a timer, the weather thing, reminder, like literally anything that appears in the top. So I think that's still like a lot. And I'm not someone who uses my phone a shit ton, so I'm kind of scared of what other people's would be. And I haven't been a fan of my recent screen time. I've been just kind of, work has been stressful. I'm using an excuse right now. Work has been stressful, so I'm like, hey, let me do research on other stuff, like, reformatting this podcast. So my screen time has ballooned recently to like 3-4-ish hours a day, which is really bad. But before that, it'd be between 2 and 3, which I still think is a bit much. And again, a lot of it is, kind of research. I love using Perplexity, just research things, just to the ends of the earth. I don't know why. I just want to know. And recently I'm trying to get a big handle on that. Since the weekend, I've barely used it like 2 hours a day, which I'm still surprised how the hell that even happens. I'm assuming I'm using the web browser for Amazon, looks like whatever. So some other shit. Sunday, I got 0. I intentionally did not pick up my phone on Sunday. You might be thinking, oh my God, you must have been shit out of luck. No, because I have a computer. If I need to do something, look something up, I got a computer. So it wasn't that bad. It's totally fine. It was nice, actually. Might do that more often. Anyway, I'm not perfect, and it's been getting, not so great lately, but I'm like, aware of it. And getting back to more intentional use, because I've been thinking lately, hey, I haven't touched my guitar in a while. Is it because I don't have time? I'm thinking, no, it's not really. I stopped researching shit all the time, doing extra shit on the phone. I'll have time for that. Time for other stuff. Como mejorar mi español, improve my Spanish. Even exercise a bit extra if I want to, because I got, want to get that single arm pull up sometime. So for me personally, I haven't had the excuse of like, I don't have time to exercise or track my food. But a lot of people do. And here's something I recommend to you. Let's say you spend, 4 hours on TikTok. Get help. Sorry. What I mean is, just swap some of those hours. Swap like literally 10 minutes of those hours and use MyFitnessPal chronometer instead. And just when you're getting food, just put it in there. Use 10 minutes of the TikTok time to put some of the food in there and just keep track of it. Just some of it to start off. I'm not asking you to do 0 hours of TikTok. I'm not asking you to track literally all your food all the time. I'm saying give 10 minutes of that TikTok time to tracking your food. You're just using a different app. You're still on your phone. Don't worry. I'm not asking you to give that up right now. But, it might be challenging to do this because you might be falling for certain lies that these tech companies are telling you, or your peers might be telling you, such as you deserve a break, just 5 more minutes of scrolling. That's what you tell yourself. You need to stay informed, connected. I got to tell you, here's something that is wild to me. People just inundate themselves with political news and just news in general, which skews negative because I don't know why human psychology loves negativity. So the news is skewed that way, which makes you pay attention more. People just dump this shit right into their brain and they feel like shit all the time because they're thinking, oh, the world is destroyed. Makes you feel like you're constantly in a state of emergency. Here's the thing. Most of that shit you can ignore entirely because if it really matters, if it actually affects you and matters, you're going to find out about it. One way or another, you will know. So you don't have to go out of your way to find out about it. And other lies people tell you, oh, everyone else is doing it. Everyone else is staring at their phones during dinner the whole time. It's fine. Kind of disagree. I mean, if you're on your phone during dinner to track your food or something, that's cool, I guess. I would do that before you eat, but that's something. And another lie people tell themselves and are told is that, oh, you're too busy to do anything else. You're too tired to do anything else besides scroll. This is a fallacy people have that they think scrolling and whatever is relaxing. It's not. Your brain is processing a shit ton of sounds and colors and just wildly different things switching within seconds. Your brain is not chill, is working very hard, and you're not going to remember any of that shit because it's literally too much for your brain to even take in. You're not chill. You're not really relaxing when you're doing this at all. You're dopamine farming, essentially. And this is why a lot of people fall for it. This whole I don't have time thing and blind to my phone usage. Because if you work in tech or an office job in general as well, you're conditioned into thinking, hey, I gotta be connected. I gotta be on Slack, on Teams. Like, I just gotta have my phone on me all the time. If I got my phone on me, might as well use it a bit here and there. Essentially, the phone becomes a limb or a ball and chain, if you want to think about it a certain way, because it prevents you from doing a lot of other things. And since it's on you all the time, it just probably feels easier to open up Instagram or TikTok or whatever than putting on your gym clothes and just going somewhere to do something. Or to track your food. Because when you open up an app, let's say there's one app, you open it up, you got to put in some stuff, you got to put in a number maybe as well, and it's, whatever, it's like homework. The other one's like, oh my God, it's a funny meme. One of them's more appealing than the other, for sure, psychologically. So there's the choice you have to make there. But you got to get real. It's not that you don't have time. It's that you're not prioritizing. And that's one of the things that frustrates me most about when people talk about, I don't have time. Most people have time. Listen, if you're like a single parent, you have like 8 kids, you might actually not have time. All right. So don't, but you're not that. Let's be real. You're probably not that person. So if you say, oh, I don't have time to do this and this, but you rack up several hours on your phone, be real. Just say, I'm not prioritizing the other stuff. That sucks, of course, but at least you'll be honest with yourself and everyone else. So if you're spending, like an average person does, 2.5 hours or more on social media, and you say you don't have time, my man, that is a lot of time to go exercise, cook a meal, eat it, and track it. Ideally, you want to track it before you eat it. Like, you could literally do all of that in a time frame. So you do have the time. It's just kind of being stolen by your own habits that were, and again, you're mostly to blame for this. Let's be real. Take responsibility. You have agency here. But also, a bunch of fucking nerds in California they're making it really hard for you to choose anything else when you pick up your phone. I'll be real about that. Even if you have insane amounts of willpower and discipline, you can still get trapped in this stuff. I consider myself as someone who has pretty fucking good amount of discipline. I lost 100 pounds without surgery or, drugs. I put my nose to the grind in many different situations. I have a pretty good amount of discipline. However, if I were to use Instagram or whatever it is, yeah, I could find myself scrolling there for a bit. That's why I have massive safeguards put in place. On my phone, I don't have the YouTube app. I use the Brave browser because I don't want ads. I have a timer of about 8 minutes on that. If I ever need to go to Reddit for research or threads to, kick out some ideas there, I have a 5-minute timer for that. I'm not very active on Instagram these days, but if I were to use that or Facebook for whatever reason, I have a timer of 5 minutes. LinkedIn, where I'm most active, and Substack sometimes, I have a timer of about 15 minutes. Not bullshitting you at all. This is how it is. That's a combined half hour. Now, obviously, I can use stuff on my computer. I also have timers for that. And they're as strict or stricter than the other things. So I think, I'm not going to check now because it would mess with the recording, but I think I literally cannot spend more than like an hour per day on any social media. So that's cool. But my point is, if these safeguards were not in place, yeah, it'd be possible I spend, 2 or 3 hours or something. Because it's like, oh, this is funny. Swipe, oh, this is interesting. Swipe, oh, this is cool. I'll save this for check later, whatever. There can only be so much willpower because, again, there's been a lot of science going into this to actually make it really, really hard for you to stop, no matter how disciplined you are. I mean, obviously, there are some people who are like, yeah, this doesn't work for me. Doesn't work on me at all. Very cool. Very, very cool. But for the majority of people, it's a pretty effective time suck that they've created over there. So the crazy thing is you do have time, but it's being kind of hijacked by these apps and stuff like that. And what this does is actually makes you more tired, messes up your sleep, which in turn makes you hungrier. So you're basically someone who, if you don't acknowledge the impact that the screen time is having on stealing your time, you're going to be someone who has no energy, they're tired, they're hungry, probably make bad decisions, and then they end up being fatter. So that's not great. So what I would recommend to you guys, you work in tech, you know how to work a fucking phone, right? I recommend this app called App Block. I use the paid version and it's totally worth it because it not only does it block apps, it blocks websites, and not just blocks, put the timer on them. So if you're someone who's like, oh man, I spent a lot of time on Instagram, let me delete the app, and then you go on the browser, you're like, oh, I can still use Instagram here, but I can't track it because the digital well-being or app timer things don't work on websites. This does. You can set schedule. This is not an ad, by the way. I just really like it. Although if I find the affiliate link, I will put that in the in the comments probably. So I recommend that. If first you want to see if this is a problem for you, just check the screen time. Most phones, Android has a digital well-being. Apple has, I think, screen time app. So just check it. Check what your last week has been. Check what your month has been, and face the facts. Face the numbers. Where's your time actually gone? Add it all up. What does it look like? Did you know that if you spend an hour a day doing shit that you don't care about, that's 15 days out of the year? 6% of your waking life. And on the higher end, 5 hours per day is about 76 days out of the year, which is about 1/3 of your waking life. So yeah, just make that comparison. And you got to find out, because most people underestimate, just like with calories, they think I'm not eating that much when really they're eating an extra like 800 calories they didn't even know about. You might be thinking, I only use my phone for like 40 minutes a day. Check that shit. It's probably 4 hours at minimum. So figure this out first. I recommend App Block. Put some timers on there. Start small. Here, whatever number you find out, let's say you spend 2.5 hours on Instagram, right? Put the timer at round it down. Start with 2 hours. Then as you go forward, you're thinking, man, this is still a lot of time. Go down again. Go down to an hour and a half. Go down to an hour. Do it slightly less than what you think is, that you need. And you'll realize you don't need that much time on these things. Even if you do want to use it for business or connection, whatever, you don't need that much time, actually. I used to have my Instagram timer at about 15 minutes, but I lowered it to 10 before I got rid of Instagram off my phone. And yeah, that was enough time. Whenever I would run out of time, it'd be because I got caught in some fucking scrolled to some reel. It wasn't actually me doing something. You actually doing something on there, checking something specifically, you can do that pretty quickly. It's when you get sucked into like, oh, this is funny, this is interesting, this is cool. That's when time just escapes you. So do that, and with the time that you save, like I said, swap it for tracking a meal or two, going for a walk, signing up for the gym, doing something. So you'll still have that time, just use it on something else. So there you go. There's a time that you don't have. You get it back. And of course, if you want to create some friction with the timers, deleting some apps, only accessing them through your computer, putting a passcode thumbprint, whatever on certain things if you can, just that extra step. Literally just having that one extra step can make you feel like, oh, I'm doing this again. Or do I need to do this right now? It'll just remind you like, hey, before you automatically get into it, here's a 1 second pause. Just keep in mind, you're about to do something. Are you sure about that? All right? Because you're not really too busy. You don't lack time. You're just too distracted because these companies are sucking everything out of you. You have to control your phone, or else these companies and this phone will control you. I just dropped my phone and it rolled all the way to the thing all right, well. Anyway, good thing I have carpet. If you want more episodes that talk about the systems designed to keep you fat, tired, and dumb, you should subscribe. If you keep pretending you don't have time because of your phone, you're not going to make it.